Burundi has been ranked by the World Bank, the IMF, and many other official organizations as the poorest country in the world almost every year for the past 62 years. This country has a population of about 12.5 million people, and the population lives in such extreme poverty that it is also known as the unhappiest country in the world. The average annual income of a worker is only about $180. Although the national unemployment rate is not clearly known, it is believed that 1 out of every 3 people is unemployed. If someone is fortunate enough to work day and night, their monthly salary is only $15 while still having to support a family of 8. Upon landing at Bujumbura International Airport, the only airport in the country with an asphalt runway, the first surprising image is the information screen running a demo version of the operating system to avoid paying licensing fees. Burundi lies in the heart of Africa in the Great Rift Valley, where East Africa meets the African Great Lakes. The country's surface area is only 27,834 square kilometers. Although almost everyone is involved in agriculture, the mountainous geography of the country is unfortunately not enough to feed 12.5 million people. The most populated city is Bujumbura, with a population of 380,000. In the central district of Beira, the first striking detail is that children are everywhere. Children in the neighborhood are busy fishing. 65% of the population is under 25 years old, 45% is under 50, and only 3% are over 65. Children do not have many toys, so they play by rolling tires with sticks, playing tabletop games with beer caps, making toy cars from plastic bottles, and playing football with empty tires. According to data released by the United Nations 10 years ago, the average life expectancy in Burundi is only about 49 years. Since only 7.6% of the population has access to electricity, many neighborhoods have public phone charging points. Although the world has reached the year 2021, most people in this country still do not use smartphones. Even the information screens on airplanes show images of outdated technology. In a rice field in Buter, farmers are trying to feed the city of Bujumbura. This is where the city gets its rice supply. About 86% of the country's land area is rural, and nearly 90% of all jobs are in agriculture. When visiting the home of an average farmer, the first image is many homeless people forced to get wet in the rain because they have nowhere to stay. A child is bathing, taking advantage of the rainwater. The house is home to 8 people, consisting of 8 children and 2 parents. Their beds are simply cloths spread on the floor. One sheet is for the parents and another is for the 8 children. Some items in the house are collected from the garbage dump. The man of the house, 58 years old, is a bean farmer. The eldest son goes to the dump to collect various items. The man earns only about $10 a month, and all 10 family members sleep on the floor in the same room. They have no electricity, yet their situation is still considered better than that of many others in the region. Burundi has the second highest population density in Africa, with 451 people per square kilometer, and more than 70% of them live below the poverty line. 1 out of every 20 people dies from malnutrition or starvation. $1 is equivalent to about 2,000 Burundian francs, yet it is almost impossible to purchase dollars at this exchange rate. People can earn a small amount of dollars through the black market, and $1 can be exchanged for about 3,000 Burundian francs. Accordingly, their highest value banknote of 10,000 francs is worth about $3.3. Because Burundi lacks modern technology, many types of jobs that exist in other countries do not exist here at all. During the journey to conduct interviews with people from various social backgrounds, such as police officers or carpenters owning a bicycle in Burundi, is considered having a profession. These cyclists try to sustain their lives by transporting products from farmers to markets. They can spend about 9 hours going back and forth starting at 4 in the morning. They walk barefoot and do not feel pain in their feet. Many goods are brought from rural areas of another province. Their income is 3,000 Burundian francs a day, equivalent to about 90 cents, and this is higher than what many others earn despite the job being extremely demanding. They must ride bicycles from one province to another, covering many kilometers for many hours. They also have to pay taxes for this transportation work. These cyclists must support families with many children on a wage of 90 cents per day, while risking their lives traveling between cities over distances of 100 to 150 kilometers within 10 to 12 hours each day. Loads of 200 kilograms push the bicycles downhill at speeds of 70 to 80 kilometers per hour. Poor braking performance when encountering pedestrians, vehicles' dividers, or a sudden tire burst can lead to catastrophic consequences. In the struggle for survival, people pushing bicycles uphill often hold on to the back of train cars to save energy and time. Others who cannot find anything to hold on to must cling to the bicycle in front, which inevitably leads to accidents. According to the road authority, Burundi has about 12,000 kilometers of roads, but only 14% of them are paved. Some people wash their bicycles in puddles left after rain, and others dry their wet clothes on electric poles because they have no home. At the rest and eating point for cyclists along the highway, sweet potatoes are sold for 100. A woman can earn 5,000 Burundian francs, equivalent to about $12. Children help sell mushrooms and other products. The woman's husband had left her. She had lost a child 3 years ago. An egg costs 500, and the profit per egg is 100. Their daily income is 2,000. They use 1,000 for daily expenses and save 1,000 to pay rent at the end of the month. They mainly eat potatoes and beans because their food energy sources are very limited. Begging is very common even among employed people. Many people seek help from a very young age, especially when they see foreigners. When the vehicle broke down again, many people simply came to ask for money. A tree prevented the car from falling into a ravine when it suffered a malfunction on the road. Those who do not have bicycles must carry bananas or other heavy items on their heads day and night to earn 50 cents a day. They often walk barefoot and must transport goods from rural villages to cities many kilometers away. These people have to walk from one city to another, exhausting their bodies and health on such roads. At the final stop, the city market of Bujumbura, most products are sold directly by farmers because there is no technology for processing or packaging. There are also porters who help carry goods for others, and they can earn 1,000. This market is the largest scarce shopping center in the country, mainly selling food, and it is called Kotu. Many people do not like cameras because they are not used to being filmed. The journey then continues toward Gitega, the second largest city and the capital, with a population of 135,000. The maximum time allowed to stop there is 5 minutes in order to avoid causing trouble. Political instability has spread across the entire country. The driver carries a jacket and a Bible on the dashboard to avoid problems at police checkpoints. These checkpoints are often nothing more than a rope stretched across the road. The guards belong to the youth wing of the ruling party and block the road to check identification. At one checkpoint, the police claimed that the car's windshield had a crack and demanded that the vehicle be towed away. The driver negotiated and offered a bribe of 5,000 Burundian francs, equivalent to about $1.6. A carpenter explained that this is an investment for his work, and he would buy 2 pieces of wood to continue his job. His income is $10 per month, and he still has to pay taxes. A police officer in the vehicle shared how public servants manage to survive with such low salaries. A postal worker earns about $14 a month, and most of the informal income earned on the side is only enough for beer, providing no real benefit. When the Prime Minister's motorcade passes by, the driver must stop the car due to an unwritten rule requiring all vehicles to remain still as a sign of respect. The list of monthly consumer needs for an 8-person family far exceeds what they can afford because the head of the household earns an average of only 50,000 Burundian francs per month. 1 liter of milk costs 5,500. 1 liter of sunflower oil costs 9,000. 170 milliliters of shampoo costs 8,000. 1 kilogram of sugar costs 8,500. 1.5 liters of water costs 1,500. This list does not include vegetables or meat. A piece of chocolate costs 2,500. A pack of cookies costs 2,000. A can of energy drink costs 6,500. 750 grams of hazelnut chocolate costs 18,000. 1 liter of olive oil costs 29,000. Meat is not stored in refrigerators. A watermelon costs 4,000. An average Burundian would have to work for 230 years without spending any money in order to achieve an annual income equal to that of an average citizen of the United States. Here people rely heavily on human labor. The bricks used to build a new house are made from a mixture of mud without being fired. Not far from there, about 100 meters away, a man was collapsing, likely due to hunger. It was heartbreaking to witness a child without arms trying to hold a younger sibling. This raises the question of what kind of job this child will be able to do to survive when reaching the age of 20 or 30. At the school where the children study, most of them will likely have to work instead of continuing their education. Only 32% of students in the country complete secondary education, and less than 1% of the population attends university. The only public university is the University of Burundi. The students' dreams are centered on studying to become better people in the future. Children returning from school must walk long distances. Some walk for 1 hour, others for 30 minutes, and some for as long as 2 hours just to reach home. Students without school bags have to hide their books inside their clothing. Young people dressed in white are producing cassava flour, a starch-rich powder extracted from the roots. From this flour, they make ugali, a traditional bread. Those working in this job earn less than 20,000 Burundian francs per month, while others in Burundi earn less than $10. They sleep at their workplace. A carpenter creates doors, sleeve-mounting boards, and many other items. On the street, vendors continuously pass by selling various goods. Some people produce palm oil by pouring 1 liter of palm oil into a machine to separate the oil from the kernel, then pouring the oil into cooking containers to purify it. Palm oil is used as food and as an ingredient for soap production. Because shop owners do not have enough budget for professional advertising, they rely on local painters to create signs promoting their brands. The most basic needs in the country are controlled by monopoly companies. There is only 1 sugar company, 1 coffee company, and 1 cement company. These factories are surrounded by walls 3 to 4 meters high. Since most of the population lives in rural areas, the journey continues into the villages to observe the average level of welfare. To reduce the burden on villagers living in very poor conditions, enough cassava flour was purchased to feed 30 people with only $15. Saturday is Public Cleaning Day in Burundi. Citizens sweep the streets and clean the city with encouragement from the authorities. At a city cemetery near Bujumbura, class distinctions remain even after death. The cemetery of the wealthy is separated by private space to prevent intrusion. Areas for the middle class and areas for the poor are also arranged separately. In another place, a small girl was living in conditions full of mosquitoes and leftover food. Her sleeping and cooking area was only a small space. She had 4 children. Her husband and 3 other children had died, leaving her with only one surviving son. Her livelihood depended on begging for food from others. She received a small amount of corn and bananas for the day's meal, just enough to survive. A man living nearby did not know his own age and did not possess many belongings. All his clothing consisted of a few items placed next to some cooking pots and a single pair of shoes. Without a wardrobe, his living space was extremely simple. His son earned a living by carrying food for cattle, while he himself survived by begging. Their shelter could be the poorest home in the poorest country in the world. In other countries, such shelters would be used for livestock, but here they serve as homes for people. The house of another woman was also only a makeshift shelter. She tried to survive by begging. The space consisted only of walls made from sacks, plastic bags, and dry branches. When it rained, she had no protection. Many people had died from hunger. Those who survived lived under such conditions. Many families had around 6 children, but because of extreme poverty, many children had died, leaving parents unsure how many children they had. Farming was only for self-consumption because there was no market or currency. People did not carry money and were not even familiar with the concept of money. They grew only what they could eat. The land was depleted, yet because of hunger, they continued planting without allowing the soil to rest, reducing productivity and worsening food shortages. Some sweet corn plants grew at half their normal rate, contributing further to the lack of food. The wife of the man mentioned earlier lived under the same conditions, and their situation continued to be observed here. A young family accompanied the journey. They had one child who appeared in the scene. A 16-year-old boy who had never attended school was responsible for taking care of a 3-person family. Their home had no toilet. All needs were taken care of outside. The kitchen was only a small area used for cooking. Water for dinner was taken from simple containers. The boy had only one set of daily clothes and wore the same outfit every day. He had one clean set of clothing, but wore it only for prayer. His religion was Christianity. According to official statistics, 20% of women in Burundi are forced into marriage before the age of 18. People consider children a blessing, and the average woman has 5.5 children. In the previous generation, it was common for a man to have 25 or 30 children with different women. Burundi, where protein intake is insufficient, ranks as the 3rd lowest meat-consuming country in the world according to United Nations data. The other 2 countries are India and Bangladesh, where vegetarian diets are widespread. The average amount of meat consumed per person per day is only 14 grams, and meat accounts for only 2% of total food consumption. A lack of important nutrients such as iron, vitamin A, iodine, and zinc leads to reduced IQ and physical stunting. Anemia is very common. According to the World Food Program, 1 out of every 5 children dies before the age of 5 due to malnutrition and related health conditions. The World Health Organization reports that Burundi has only 1 doctor for every 35,000 people. 2 million people living here have never visited a hospital in their lifetime. On the way back to Bujumbura, the driver had to keep one hand on the handbrake because he did not trust the vehicle's braking system. After waiting in a long line, fuel was purchased at 80 cents per liter, equivalent to 2,400 Burundian francs. In the city, chaos occurs when bicycles are the only means of transportation. A family of 4 uses a single bicycle to go to church on Sunday. A Sunday service is held by the church, where people socialize with each other. About 84% of the population follows Christianity, 2.5% follows Islam, and the rest believe in a goddess called Ima from their ancient belief system or have no religion. Traditional Burundian music is performed along with dance. A song in the Kirundi language was once used to summon enemies during wartime. Burundi became part of German East Africa in the year 1890 and was transferred to Belgium after Germany's defeat in World War I. The Belgian administration implemented an ethnic discrimination policy from the year 1933, creating artificial social classes by issuing identity cards based on physical characteristics. In terms of population structure, 85% are Hutu, 14% are Tutsi, and 1% belong to other lineages. The leader of the independence movement was assassinated during a meeting and was killed by the Belgians. The people do not hate Belgium because they believe Belgium first brought education. They use the Belgian education system, and government officials imitate Belgian administrative structures. People speak French and consider Belgium their teacher despite past oppression. On July 1, 1962, Belgian occupation officially ended on paper, and Burundi declared independence, but people were still required to carry identity cards showing tribal origin. Ethnic conflict continued until the year 2005 and claimed around 300,000 lives. Many people in Burundi feel fortunate that Christianity was brought to the country. A famous African proverb is recalled. When the missionaries came to Africa, they had the Bible and we had the land. They said, "Let us pray and close our eyes." When we opened them, we had the Bible and they had the land. Many children lost their parents due to past events or AIDS. Many children were abandoned due to economic instability. According to SOS Children's Villages, there are currently 610,000 orphans in Burundi, equivalent to 5% of the national population. Many children are forced to work. Some are forced into inappropriate jobs or sold as labor. According to the United States Department of State, many first aid kits sent to the poorest region of Uganda, Karamoja, were used to force children into agricultural labor and other forms of work. In the year 2020, the government and civil society reported cases of children being sold in eastern Karamoja markets for about 50,000 Ugandan shillings, equivalent to $15. A spokesperson for a national agency stated that a woman living in a village and her 3 children were freed from an earthen house where their travel documents and belongings had been confiscated. Victims from Burundi, Kenya, and South Sudan are often taken to Uganda before being transported to other countries, particularly in the Middle East. Burundi, the country with the 4th lowest internet access rate in the world, has only 13% of its population able to access the internet. Despite all the negative circumstances, the country's motto is Unity, Labor, and Development. The red on the national flag symbolizes the struggle for freedom. The green symbolizes hope for the future, and the white symbolizes peace. The 3 stars in the center represent the 3 communities living within the nation. One public activity that used to be common was licensed jogging, but it was recently banned to prevent unrest. The most popular sport is football. The dream of many teenagers is to join a football club abroad. The list of people who left for Europe with athlete visas but never returned home is quite long. In 2011, an incident occurred in which the entire team of a football club from an African country did not appear for a match in Paris and dispersed illegally across France. Lake Tanganyika. The second deepest lake in the world is a place where many people come to swim despite the presence of trash in the water and many crocodiles. It is not a safe place to swim. People living in towns along the lake rely on fishing for their livelihood. The most famous beach in the country, located along the lake's shore, was once the home of a giant crocodile said to have eaten about 300 people and weighed around 1 ton. This crocodile sometimes did not eat the people it caught, but left their bodies floating on the water. The fishing boats on the lake are very crude, with water constantly leaking in and patched with makeshift materials. A fisherman may catch around 30 fish and earn more than $100 a month. This is a relatively high income compared to the general standard, but few people dare to enter the profession because they feel they lack the skills or fear the danger. Crocodiles appear frequently, and many people have died when their boats capsized in deep waters. Experienced fishermen identify dangerous areas by watching for bubbles rising on the water's surface, a common sign that crocodiles are hiding below. Some crocodiles, familiar with the taste of human flesh, may even attack fishing boats. Life here is extremely difficult. When going farther into the lake, boats must be bailed out constantly because if left too long, they may sink. This is a daily routine. Children here have become accustomed to an environment full of crocodiles and see it as a normal part of life. Lake Tanganyika holds about 16% of the world's freshwater reserves, making it a crucial resource as humanity faces an escalating drinking water crisis. Burundi's main export products include coffee, tea, cotton, potatoes, beans, cassava flour, corn, and bananas. Countries that import these goods include Belgium, China, Uganda, Kenya, Saudi Arabia, and India. Burundi is located near the equator, but its climate is humid due to its high elevation. The average annual temperature remains steady at around 24 degrees Celsius. The country has 2 rainy seasons each year, from September to November and from February to May. The mountainous terrain combined with widespread deforestation makes Burundi prone to natural disasters. Many homes and farms have been destroyed due to increasing floods in recent years. In a border city, residents lost about 90% of their property during the April 2020 flood. The country resembles a tree shedding its leaves month after month, and people continue to hope for a new spring in their lives. Yet in the heart of Africa, humanity still has not escaped its most fundamental struggles. Continue following the journey to explore life in the lesser-known corners of the world, and join us in the next chapters so you won't miss any authentic perspective on humanity.